Base A2A. I'm Mark Medina and I'll be introducing our report today. Good morning to you, my classmates, and to our beautiful instructor today. I am deeply humbled to introduce our topic for today. So we'll be talking about different matrices or matrix. For example here, as you can see, this is an example of internal and external matrix which will be deeply discussed by our reporter. Once again, I'm Mark Bettina, introducing our topic. I hope you will learn something, and if you'll see template here, you'll just need to bear with us because I haven't paid my Filmora right now. Thank you once again, and hope you enjoy our project.
My name is Rachel Angela Shaw. To further explain what is IFE matrix and EFE matrix. So the IE matrix is based on two key dimensions. The IFE total weighted scores on the x-axis and the EFE total weighted scores on the y-axis. So you may rely on the graph po na naka-attach sa aming PPT. Kung gusto niyo pong mas lalong maintindihan kung ano po yung topic namin. So, each division of an organization should construct an internal factor evaluation or, in short, IFE matrix and an external factor evaluation, in short, EFE matrix. Dahil sa isang organization, kailangan siyang magkaroon ng IFE and EFE matrix dahil isa itong part ng isang organization. So the total weighted scores derived from the divisions allow construction of the corporate level IE matrix. Sa x-axis naman ng IE matrix, an IFE total weighted score of 1.0 to 1.99 represents a weak internal positions, and a score of 2.0 to 2.99 is considered average, and a score of 3.0 to 240 is strong. Similarly, on the y-axis, an EFE total weighted score of 1.0 to 1.99 is considered low, and a score of 2.0 to 2.99 is medium, and the 3.0 to 4.0 is high. The IE matrix can be divided into three major regions that have different strategy implications. So first, the prescription for divisions that fall into cells 1, 2, or 4. Second, divisions that fall into cells 3, 5, or 7. And third, a common prescription for divisions that fall into cells 6, 8, or 11. So first, the prescription for divisions that falls into cells 1, 2, or 4 can be described as grow and build. Intensive market penetration, market development, and a product development, or integrative backward integration, forward integration, and horizontal integration. Strategies na kailangan or nararapat sa mga divisions na ito. So second, divisions that fall into cells 3, 5, or 7. Dito naman, mamamanage ng clearly or husto sa pamamagitan ng paggawa at pag-maintain ng mga strategies. Market penetration and product development are too commonly employed strategies for these types of divisions. And third, a common prescriptions for divisions that fall into cells 6, 8, or 11 is outcome or divest. Successful organizations are able to achieve a portfolio of businesses positioned in or around cell 1 in the IE matrix. And now, may I call on Angeline and Joseph to further explain the IFE and EFE matrix by giving examples.
Hello, I'm David Joseph Aaron and I will be discuss figure 6-10. Pero bago tayo magsimula is define muna natin yung IE matrix. The IE matrix is a vital and calculated administration tool that is used to examine vital position and working of organization or a trade. The IE matrix is a strategic management tool which is used to analyze the current position of division and suggest strategies for the future. In figure 6-10, it is an example of advanced and complete IE matrix which depicts an organization composed of 4 divisions, division 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ngayon naman pag-uusapan natin yung mga nakapaloob sa IE matrix. The IE matrix is based on 2 key dimensions, the IFE total weighted score on the x-axis and EFE total weighted score on y-axis. The 4-size circle you see in the screen represent the percent sales contribution each division, and the pie slices in the circle represent the percentage profit each division. To summarize figure 6-10, Division 2 contribute the greatest percentage of company sales, therefore it represents the larger circle in the matrix. Division 1 contribute the greatest proportion of total profits, and we can see in the matrix it has the largest percentage pie slice. The position of each circle, growth and build strategies are applicable for Division 1, 2, 3, and Division 4 is candidate for harvest or divest na diniscuss ni Rachel kanina lang. So we go to the next example which is figure 6-11.
Good morning po, I am Angeline May Foster and I will be the one assigned to discuss the figure 6-11. And meron po tayo sa figure that the IE matrix has 5 divisions. And as you can see, meron tayong x and y axis dun sa numerical values. So y-axis is yung vertical or patayo, and dun yung EFE matrix. Then yung x-axis naman is yung horizontal or pahiga, and dun naman ang IFE matrix. Nakalagay sa y-axis is yung numerical value na may 4 from the top, then 3, 2, 1 pababa. And as for the x-axis naman natin, ang 4 ay magsisimula sa left, then 3, 2, 1 pa right side. And the other thing to consider is yung positioning ng mga cells and kung ano yung mga regions na ikalalagay ng iyong company. Third thing na dapat alalahanin ay yung mga terms na grow and build, hold and maintain, harvest, or divest. Yun yung mga regions or yun yung mga positions ng company ninyo. This is in relation po sa na-discuss ni Ms. Rachel, pero I would just sum it up. The first region made up of cells 1, 2, and 4 is known as the grow and build region. Kapag nasa grow and build ka, meaning maganda yung position ng iyong company. And as you can see naman po, dito nabilang ang Division 5 because of its strong IFE score which is 3 and medium EFE score na 2.5. Ang strategies dito is more on venturing out, exploring new ideas. Kung mag-fail man ang risk, hindi masyadong maaapektuhan kasi nga malaki ang opportunity to venture out or explore new things. And you're doing well with the sales, kumikita ng malaki. The second region is the hold and maintain region that composes the cells 3, 5, and 7. And based on the figure, dito nag-fall yung mga division 1, 2, 3, and 4. Specifically sa cell number 5 kasi meron silang medium and average IFE and EFE scores. Companies falling in this region is yung mga company na hindi masyadong maganda pero hindi rin pangit. Kumbaga, moderate lang. They are doing well enough to consider that kumikita sila pero hindi pa sila ganun kapulido yung performance nila. Kaya nilang mag-move or should we say venture forward, pero hindi masyadong risky yung mga operations na gagawin nila. So the strategies na pwedeng gawin nila ngayon is market penetration and product development are commonly employed by companies falling in this region. Meaning is hindi masyadong risky itong strategies na ito. Kumbaga yung drawback niya, if you will fail, then hindi masyadong malaki ang impact. Lastly, makikita din natin sa figure that Division 1 has the largest revenues as indicated by the largest circle and the largest profits with 59% as indicated by the largest pie slice in the matrix. And that's it po. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Michelle Boncales, and now we will move to the grand strategy matrix. Aside from the SWOT matrix, PACE matrix, BCG matrix, and IE matrix that has been tackled a while ago, grand strategy matrix also became a popular tool for formulating strategies. It was released by an American business theorist, Paul Joseph DiMaggio, which first appeared in the Strategic Management Journal and used as a strategic option tool for managers. It became popular to those business strategists who believed that it was useful for any kind of business. Grand strategy matrix consists of a graph divided into 4 quadrants by an x-axis, which represents the company's competitive position with weak on the left and strong competition on the right. Market growth is represented on the y-axis with the upper half signifying rapid growth and at the bottom half suggesting moderate growth. Mamaya makikita natin sa next slides yung figure nito na i-discuss din the next reporter. Dito, each quadrant shows a list of options which is designed to assist or help a business in evaluating the potential direction they decide to move in. It is frequently likened to the SWOT matrix, but unlike SWOT, the grand strategy matrix displays a company's life cycle as both of its strength and market fluctuates, giving it more universal choice available to firms without requiring significant customization to match their demands. Both matrices, when they are utilized together, can provide opportunities and strengths for a company's competitiveness and market growth. Let's move to the next part to be discussed by Nicole Sarmiento.
Thank you, Ms. Boncales. I am Nicole Sarmiento, and let's discuss these 4 quadrants in Grand Matrix Strategy. Let's begin with Quadrant 1. As you can see dito sa figure natin, Quadrant 1 is home to strong competitiveness plus rapid market growth. So, ibig sabihin, nagre-refer to sa mga divisions or mga firms na nag-ooperate sa fast growth market environment. And nagpo-possess sila ng strong competitive advantage. In other words, yung firms na located sa Quadrant 1 are in an excellent strategic position. Moreover, they practice magnificent positions strategically. So, obviously naman, di natin mapagkakaila na itong quadrant na to is the best quadrant to be in, with opportunities high and your position is very strong. So, ano-ano nga ba yung mga strategies na ginagawa ng mga firms na nakaposition dito sa first quadrant? Here are those: market development, market penetration, product development, forward integration, backward integration, horizontal integration, and related diversification. So, to further discuss these strategies, paano nga ba maa-achieve ang mga to? So, for example, meron kang business and you must concentrate on the current market. Or ano ba yung market ngayon? Ano ang market status? Kailangan mong mag-monitor and malaman yun with the help of market penetration and market development. As well as when it comes on product or yung mga product mo, you should apply this, particularly product development strategy. So, yung idea dito is to focus on and to make sure that you have a current competitive base stronger. So, dun naman tayo sa case in such firms, possesses already sila when it comes sa availability ng mga resources nila. Pwede na silang mag-move on to integration strategies. Pero, they should never be at the cost of diverting attention from the current strong competitive base. On the other hand, kung yung isang firm na nasa quadrant 1 and meron siyang excessive resources, then backward, forward, or horizontal integration yung mga effective strategies na pwede niyang i-apply. So for additional information, here in quadrant 1, maintaining a dominant position should be your priority. So yung mga firms na under sa quadrant 1 have to focus on a single product and can go for a related diversification strategy para ma-minimize yung risk nila related to a limited product line. So, yung mga firms sa quadrant 1, diba, they can afford to take advantage of external opportunities in several areas. So, they can also take risks aggressively when necessary. Let me give you an example. So, di ba yung quadrant 1 or any business segments that have fallen into the quadrant 1 are in pretty good shape firms. For example, yung Gatorade. Drinks company to, di ba? And sports drinks are currently in a very high pace of growth sa beverage industry. And let's say na it has his second closest competitor, which is yung Powerade. So, what could Gatorade do going forward? And maybe a better way to look at this is, ano na yung mga nagawa ni Gatorade in the recent past that might fit in based sa sinasabi sa matrix natin. So, the biggest initiative of rate for Gatorade has been that they have extended themselves into really higher performance. So, ano yung mga offers nila sa sports drink market na patok sa customers? So, they have a prime drink, recovery drink, protein additives, etc. Mainly yung mga targets nila actually are for the higher-end athletes. And yung mga nabagit natin dito are primary examples of product development, which is one of those strategies prescribed in the quadrant 1. So, yung product development and product penetration, dalawa to sa pinaka-strategies ng Gatorade na in-apply nila sa products nila to reach market on a global basis. And now, let's proceed to our second quadrant. Quadrant 2 in this grand strategy matrix is home to companies in a weak competitive position in a rapidly growing market. So, kung ang isang business ay nasa quadrant na to, yung management of the firm mo, meron lang siyang moderate competitive situation as a business. And kailangan nilang i-evaluate yung kanilang present approach to the marketplace seriously. Kasi isipin nyo, kung yung market kung saan sila belong is growing in, then you are under threat of being overshadowed by your competitors. However, there are still a lot of opportunities naman to go for and a lot of success to be had inside the market. So, yung mga firms kailangan nilang i-evaluate or i-assess yung present approach as what I have said nga kanina to the marketplace, and they should question themselves why and how. Bakit even though their industry is growing, pero bakit they are still unable to compete effectively? And bakit yung current approach ay very ineffective? So by that, how their company can best change for their competitive improvement? Anong gagawin nila to improve their competitive position? So that's why we have here our strategies that can be applied and considered. These suitable strategies are market development, market penetration, product development, horizontal integration, divestiture, and liquidation. Hence, the suitable strategies for such firms are to develop the products and the markets and to penetrate into the markets. These strategies in this position are all about why or bakit you are not taking advantage of the position And if alam mo or your business na nandito ka sa quadrant na to, which is the quadrant 2, then you know that you can change something to improve results for your business. For instance, if the firm is lacking a distinctive competence or competitive advantage, yung firm na yon can go into the horizontal integration subject when it comes sa resources availability nila to achieve a competitive advantage or even to become a market leader. And if these firms foresee a tough competitive environment and mas mabilis yung growth ng market mismo than the growth of your firm, yung better option na pipiliin mo is to go into divestiture of some divisions or liquidation altogether and change the business. Divestiture is actually can provide funds na kakailanganin mo to acquire other businesses. Let me give you an example. We all know that yung quadrant 2 are product lines that need some improvement to increase their competitive positioning because they are in a very good markets. For example, yung Pepsi Cola. It is in a very nice market for a market which is showing a tremendous growth. However, meron lamang siyang single-digit market share and it's arguably in a fairly weak competitive position. So, ano ang pwedeng gawin ni Pepsi to further the competitive position? Pwede siyang mag-look back sa mga bagay na they have done in the recent past that fit in, that which is prescribed in quadrant 2. In addition, they have aligned themselves with several or different industries or sporting forms. Pinasukan din nila yung wrestling, to snowboarding, to racing, etc. Actually, these are all attempts at market penetration and market development. And also, yung mga strategies that this matrix prescribe para sa mga products that are in a relatively weak competitive position. So, let's now have Ms. Munoz to explain the remaining quadrants.
I am Lovely Munoz and I will continue the discussion. Quadrant 3 must make some drastic changes quickly to avoid further decline and possible liquidation. Extensive costs and asset reduction should be pursued first. So dito sa quadrant na ito, hindi ito advantageous positions to be in. Tinatawag itong most tricky position kasi umpisa pa lang, the company is not doing well. At walang malaking oportunidad dito katulad dun sa second quadrant. And this quadrant 3 is considered as weak competitive position and a slow market growth. So, if your company or your firms is in this position, of course, kailangan yung company mo ay mag-take action or gumawa ng major changes para ma-improve yung competitive position ng firms na ito. Or the company should focus on ways they can improve their competitiveness to move into quadrant 2. In this quadrant, the firm may use 5 strategies such as retrenchment, related diversification, unrelated diversification, divestiture, and liquidation. So, katulad ng nabanggit kanina, ang unang mapupursu ay yung extensive cost and asset reduction o yung retrenchment. Ngayon, if you want an alternative strategies, maaari mong gamitin yung diversification to shift resources away from the current business into different areas. Ngayon, kung wala pa rin talagang epekto or the firms still fails, yung magiging last na step mo or maaaring gamitin, yung divestiture at saka liquidation. Just to take note, just to save the left resources they have. Next is the quadrant 4, have characteristically high cash flow levels and limited internal growth needs and often can pursue related or unrelated diversification successfully. So, dito meron tayong 3 types: the related diversification, unrelated diversification, and joint venture. And these 3 types under quadrant 4 has a strong competitive position and a slow market growth. Kung ang isang kumpanya ay merong strong competitive position, mas mabuti, mas masaya. Kaya lang, your market is slow to grow at maaari itong maging way para yung magamit mong strategies is yung tinatawag na diversification, as you have the funds to innovate in numerous areas bago pa mag-decline yung market mo at maging unsustainable. Ngayon naman, magbibigay ako ng one company, then we will determine it if it is a weak competitive position or strong competitive position, rapid market growth or slow market growth, at kung saang quadrant siya ma-fall. Let's say the Coca-Cola Company. Do they have a weak competitive position or a strong competitive position? Of course, they have a strong competitive position. Do they have a rapid market growth or slow market growth? Well, ito po ay based sa akin naging mga research doon sa mga naging activity natin as one of the weakness of the Coca-Cola Company is health related. And because the actual soda industry itself is not a super fast growing market right now dahil nga sa lahat ng health trends. So, mag-fall siya sa slow market growth. So, if the Coca-Cola Company have a strong competitive position and a slow market growth, the Coca-Cola Company fall under the quadrant 4, which says that the Coca-Cola Company should get into related, unrelated diversification, or joint venture.
In general, strategies listed in the first quadrant of the grand strategy matrix are intended to retain a company's competitive advantage and stimulate rapid growth, whereas the other 3 quadrants reflect the proper measures to take to get to the best position, which is the first quadrant. And that will be the end of our reporting. Thank you for listening.